ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Collier, host of Conquer with Chris, the Kingdom Podcast. Listen, I have on today Monica Miller. Monica, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here again. Well,
this is your third or fourth time. You might be our second longest tenured guest. So, Monica, you built a platform helping others express themselves.
Yeah.
You started young with problems expressing yourselves. Take us back. What was it like growing up? How do you shape your voice literally and figuratively?
Yeah. So when I was a little girl, I actually had a speech impediment. So for those of you who don't know, if you hear an accent, an English accent, like from London, then thank you. Now, if you hear a Southern accent, I'd be like, Anyways, okay, I'm from the South, I'm from Georgia. But when I was younger, I had a speech impediment, so that meant the muscles in my mouth didn't formulate certain words and certain sounds. So I had trouble expressing what I was trying to say because I talked really fast and people couldn't understand me. So they asked my sister, what did she say? They asked me to repeat myself, and for those of us who have children, we know how frustrated they get when you're asking them to repeat themselves multiple times. And so it wasn't until I learned how to write that it taught me that freedom to express myself, because I didn't have to worry about people asking me to repeat myself, slow down, or ask my sister to translate because they could read it. And that is... to me, that catapulted what I do now. Is I help women entrepreneurs get what's inside of their heads, what's inside their hearts, out into the world, whether that's through speaking on stages or writing on social media, wanting to get sales and grow their businesses so they can create impact. So that is my story. Did I answer all your questions?
No, I have plenty of questions for you. So you went from speech impediment to microphone.
Yeah.
Now, what's the one mindset crayon you'd like to hand someone who's afraid to speak or express themselves?
When people are scared to show themselves and share themselves, but they know they have a story, or they know, like, I was meant to be on stage, I always like to remind them about, like, okay, what story is it that you feel you want to share? For example, I had a client who said, I don't have a story, Monica. And I was like, oh, yes, you do. I have been listening to you, and I heard this and this and this and this. And she was like, oh, yeah, I guess I do have a story, Monica. And it was because she needed someone to listen and to point out, here's the stories. And then I shared, this is how you talk about your story, whether that's online or on stage, to get more clients. And she actually did that and got 3 new clients and was able to book out her business for the summer. And that was just incredible. And so that's the first place, like, I've noticed where a lot of people just need to share, have somebody listen and repeat back to them, here's what I heard, here's your story. So let's turn it into a client magnet speech or client magnet piece of content. So wherever you are at and you share that story, people are not only touched, but converted with the message you have within that story. Because everyone has a story. It's a matter of how you utilize it to create the impact that God has given you in your heart. And only you can do that impact with Him. But you have to be visible. You have to speak up. You have to have wild faith, like in Hebrews 11. Wild faith. That's what I called it. Hebrews 11 is like wild faith. And that takes time.
Wow. Oh, that is awesome. I would say the one thing I would tell people is you have enough. You have enough of a story. You are enough of a person. You've been through enough to help someone else. I think that's the biggest thing I would share. So what was the exact breakthrough moment for you where you felt like, God, you know what? Not only can I speak, I can own the mic.
I always knew I was meant for the stage. Just I just knew. Like I knew from 12 years old I was going to own my own business or do something. Like And it may not have been formulated in like, owning my own business, but I knew I was going to be doing something around like writing and speaking. And as I got older, I feel like the stage became something more I wanted to do, because I love to talk. You already know that. I love to talk. And I like to speak. And I started speaking at the youth group. I was one of the leaders. I think I did it for like once a month for 6 months to a year, once a month. And I loved it. That's how I got started. And then I took, classes, got to Toastmasters, all that to help me be a better speaker. But I always known I could own the mic. There was never any question in my mind that I couldn't own the mic. Now, is there, sometimes I get a little crazy or kind of like, when it's like owning the mic in a bigger way than myself? Yeah. And don't we all, get to that point sometimes?
There's stages to all of it,
Yep.
right? There's always something else.
Oh, yeah.
You never officially arrive.
Yeah.
You're always arriving. So you're passionate about helping women, especially mompreneurs, monetize their creativity. What was your very first creative side hustle or hustle that made you say, wait a second, this could be a business?
Yeah. There've been many along the way. I have been, I'm a creative by nature. I know I'm creative. Like I did photography for a while because I was good at it. I'm still good at it. And everybody's like, you're so photogenic. And I'm like, I know. I'm not trying to be cocky. It's just, I know. And I like to help people. You do it too. Like, I was on a cruise and I was on a retreat. I was a speaker for the retreat. And I was helping people like model so we could take pictures, because I'm just like, you can't do that. Do this. Like, now do this, because I'm like, it's going to look really good. So that's what I did. And it was so much fun. So I'm into photography. And then I've done like journal creation and of course written books, but the latest one that we were talking about right before we got on here is actually creating coloring books, and that has been so much fun for me. And I am exploring what that can look like for me, my business, and making it like an extra stream of income for me that is just fun, and just so I get to serve more people and create a bigger impact than just doing what I'm doing. And it fuels a lot of things, because what I'm doing right now, oh my goodness, Chris, I'm so excited about this, because the coloring book is more than a coloring book. I'm teaching how to create a coloring book to homeschool kids now. And I'm so excited about it, because now I get to teach the next generation. I can put this coloring book with these positive affirmations into gift shops. And I could, be selling them at the end of my speech. I could be doing like coloring book kits. I mean, there's so many things I could be doing, and I could be serving other people that are not in my niche, because it's a coloring book. And I could show other moms, other entrepreneurs how to do this to make a side income, because I firmly believe that we cannot just have one income anymore in this world. We need multiple streams of income. And how easy is selling a coloring book? So easy.
I don't know. Tell us.
And it's so much fun. In the last 9 days, I've made over $600 in some form of sale around my coloring book. Whether that's the coloring book itself, sponsorships, or selling the class materials. And it's just getting started. And this has been like so much fun for me. I don't know, I'm lighting up about this, because it's been so much fun for me. I think it's just like a different way to express myself. And I'm going to be teaching homeschool. I'm a homeschool mom. And so I'm going to be teaching other homeschool kids how to do this and make money, so they can go out and do, make impact in whatever way they are going to do. Make impact. And then I get to help other, women entrepreneurs create their own coloring book and start their own coloring side hustle. And, it's just I just know it's going to turn into something I never dreamed of. And it's because I'm allowing myself to just be open and see what is possible.
Wow. There's so much in that. I want to share this. You said streams of income. I want to share this. Ecclesiastes 11:2, one of my new favorite scriptures. Invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. So you don't know which way God's going to allow you to make money. We talked about that a little bit before we went live here. So coloring to cash is a mic drop phrase, right? What does it mean to you, and how can you do something simply as coloring become a revenue stream? Can you go in a little bit deeper for the people who are new to this?
Yeah, and if you want to go even deeper, come to my color to cash class. All right, on August 21st. All right, so really what it boils down to is you don't need any experience. You don't need any, expensive subscriptions to like Adobe. You can, but you don't have to. I created all my designs on a free Canva account. That's all you need is some creativity and some inspiration, and then you can create it. I created 25 pages of coloring fun with some amazing affirmations that people could color in and make it their own. And so anyway, so my sales system is really basic. As like, of course I sold the coloring book. That's one way of making money. Another thing I did is I asked for sponsors. So I had people sponsoring a place in my coloring book so that their business is now in front of women, in front of women, because my book is for women. It's an inspirational book for women. So now their business, their books, their website, their podcast is going to be in front of women. And then the next thing is, of course, I created a class where I'm going to teach other people exactly how to create a coloring book and then make sales from it quickly. Like by pre-selling it, this book is not even published yet, and I already made $600. Come on now. Come on. Anyways, so I'm teaching you exactly what I'm doing. Exactly what I'm doing. It's not hidden. It's not secret. It's just a simple strategy. You just have to go out and do it, and if you do it, you make money. I promise. I don't know how much, but you make money. So anyway, so that's like the breakdown of what I'm doing, and you can do it too, because once you learn, you can teach, and I'm not going to hold it against you.
Coloring cash. Explain that in one sentence that stops.
Hang on, I have an idea. Let me see how I made $600 in 9 days just coloring to cash. Something like that.
Cool.
Something like
Okay, so that's great. That's great. Paint the picture. A mom at home with 2 kids. Boy, it sounds familiar, doesn't it? No extra time, no extra budget. What's her first step to tapping into her creativity and creating income from it?
Yeah, the first thing is just like, I think it's just deciding what you're going to do. So I am exploring some other, digital products to sell and all this stuff right now because I'm in exploration mode. So I would say get curious, get real curious about like, what is it that I really love to do? And then get curious about that, then make a decision. Okay, this is how I'm going to do it. And then start exploring your options, and then I feel like there's so many little like triggers to this. So for myself, this is what happened for me. I was looking on, Instagram, and people were making money from affiliate marketing. And I'm like, okay, this is a legit thing. So I started to look into it a little bit more. And then from there, I started following somebody. And then from there, I bought the course. And from there, I'm now doing the thing. Because I had to start exploring, get curious, be like, oh, I can do this. Like, that would be fun. Like, I could just try it. And then I had to become unattached to the outcome. Meaning, when I invested in this program or in the course, I got to the place where I don't know if this is going to make me any money. I have no idea, but I won't know unless I try it. Bottom line, like, I won't know unless I try it. So I decided to just go that route and see what happens. And I'm still playing in this certain area, this digital marketing area. I'm still playing and seeing what works and what doesn't work and how much fun I'm having. I'm kind of basically for fun. And so I think if you have no budget and nothing on, no budget, any of that, I would say get curious, understand what it is you like to do, and then go find people who are doing it and who are maybe teaching little bits and pieces of it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Or just plain stuck. I want you to check out something special. It's called the Power 10 Reset. A 10-minute system that I created to help you reset your mind, your life, and your business. Think of it like a jumpstart for your purpose. People are already using it to get clarity, confidence, and momentum back. You can grab your copy and your bundle today. Just hit the link in the description. Remember, burnout isn't the end. It's just a signal to reset.
And then you will have to make the decision. If I want these results, I need to invest. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, you don't have to. And I think that's BS. I think you need some form of accountability and somebody to help guide you, because there will be moments where you're going to get stuck, you're going to have questions, and you're going to have no one to ask. But if you invest, you will have hopefully someone to ask these questions during a duration of time. So that's what I would recommend. But just know that there's so many ways to make money. You just have to decide which way is going to work for you, or which way you feel is going to light you up.
Wow, more nuggets. Listen, everybody, let me tell you something. Look around you. You don't see it, but there's money being transferred all around you on the internet. Like, you can't see it, but it's all around you. She said something very, very critical. There is money to be made no matter what your interests are, no matter what your niche or niche is, depending how you want to say it. There's money to be made all around you. So find what you like to do, what lights you up, and help light up the world, because actually that's what you're called to do, right? You're not called just to sit and be boring in a cold, dark corner. You're supposed to light it up. Transitioning here, you do a lot with speaking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For people who fear the stage, whether anxiety or past pain, what's one voice of freedom tip you would teach them to be able to step onto stage?
Help them go back to their why. Like, why is it that you started your business? Why is it that you are doing the thing? Why is it that you feel God is calling you to speak on stage? A lot of us have the calling, right? A lot of us have the calling. It's just a matter of like, why is the calling there? Go back to that why. You're gonna find the why. You're gonna find, whatever that is for you. And then then it goes back to, are you going to allow the fear to hold you back? Or are you going to go forward? Oh, and it's okay to feel. The first time I spoke on stage, I was shaky. I did not have it all together. The entire time I remember thinking, people are going to find out I'm not an expert, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not, they're going to think I'm a fraud, blah, 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 blah. That was the first time I was on stage. Now you hand me the mic, I have no problem, because I practiced, I went through the field, realized I didn't die, got better, and I continue to get better every single day, and every time I get on stage. So, it's just about giving yourself permission to do it scared. And of course, you can always practice in a safe container, and that's something I offer in my programs, is you get to practice in a safe container before you go out there. Going out there is different than having a safe container, but hopefully just having that safe container will help build that confidence, so that when you appear on your first podcast or get on your first stage, you won't, you already know, I've done this once, I can do this again.
It reminds me of my friend, shout out to Dr. Jerry Brown. He said he was in the Army, I think he was in the 82nd Airborne to be exact, and they had him jumping out of planes, and he got scared right before he jumped out, and he looked over at Fear and said, Fear, I got to jump out of this plane, but guess what? You're coming with me.
Yeah. You're like, I want to be on stage, but I don't know if I can. We all started right there. We all did. We were all scared, but we moved. And I want to remind everyone, when you move, God moves. He can't move until you take the first step.
What's one mindset shift that flips fear into stage confidence?
Reminding yourself that you already have it all within you to go out there and make it happen. God gave you it for a reason. God's going to move when you decide to move. And opening your mouth is one way of movement. So you can say the affirmation of, my voice was given to me by God, and I'm going to use it, or I'm going to be obedient.
Wow, that's actually, I explained to you earlier, and I explained to my crowd now, that one of the things I'm tackling is why poverty is a curse. The Bible says it's a curse, but why you not walking in poverty is false humility. And it's really what you said, disobedience. Us walking in, because what king doesn't give their kids part of their wealth? Just something to think about. Don't want to get too off topic here. Yeah. You've taught many people to take the stage, but what's your pre-stage ritual for yourself? The thing that grounds you before the spotlight hits.
One thing I really like to do is, especially if I'm in a crowd of new people I never met, which is usually most of the time, I like to go and meet the people, like meet a couple of people. So that way, when I'm on stage, I'm looking at those people in the audience because it feels like I'm talking to a friend. And that's one ritual that has helped me remain calm, helped me recall something because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm talking to you. Oh yeah, let me like this remind me of something, right? That has, I don't know, like that has been one of my tips or tricks that I've done, and it has really helped me. And I hope it can help you to not be so nervous, because when you talk to friends, you're not nervous talking to friends. So go meet the people. And in that way,
That's
they feel extra special that you're looking at them.
that's so cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
For me, I tend to remember the practice I've put in, the years, the hours, the days. And if you don't have years or hours, maybe you have minutes that you practice and practice, because you're usually talking about something you're experienced in. So all that practice you have from your life comes into play. So you pretty much answered this before, but I'm going to ask again. Seconds before you stepped on stage for your first time, what thought flipped everything from being shaky to being confident?
If there was a thought or is a thought, I have found in my experience, and I feel like a lot of people can attest to this, is that confidence doesn't come to after you face your fear, after you do the thing. Like confidence isn't going to come until after you get off stage. Like I said, the first time I was on stage, I was teaching a workshop. I had 10 people sign up for this workshop, and it was $30. And it was like, I think I charged $30, and it was an hour and a half of information, and I thought it was great information. I went through it a little fast. I didn't mean to go through it as fast as I did, but oh well, I did. I don't remember there was a time. I mean, I might have sent a prayer up before I went, started talking. But I don't know if there was anything that helped me build confidence besides just doing it. And once I did it, I was like, oh, I didn't die. I didn't lose, my head. Oh, people didn't find out I was an imposter or whatever the thought was. And then I just kept doing it. And now I help others do the same thing.
If you can, finish this for me. I'm not just a mompreneur, I'm
a creative who helps others express themselves in the way God designed them.
So we found that there's pressures on mom to either be present or be successful. What myth do you love smashing when it comes to being a mompreneur?
I've never been asked this question, so that's a good question. I think one thing I don't like hearing is one, hustle culture. I don't like hustle culture. I'm just like, that's bleh. Because I homeschool, so I'm with my kid all the time. The youngest is still in daycare, but I'll be homeschooling him too one day. So I'm a homeschool mom, military wife. I wear all the hats. I still have to buy the groceries and taxi drive my kids all around, and do all the things, right? So that's why I don't believe in hustle culture. But I think the other thing is that there's not just one way to be successful. Like, we can all be successful in different ways. There is no one path. Every path is legit. Every path can make you millions. But you have to find the path that is going to make you your millions. And that takes time. We keep seeing these people who are like, oh, I made 6 figures in 1 year. And I'm like, that might have been true. And we don't know the 10 years they did to prepare themselves to get to the 6 figures. That's something they don't share. And there are people who do make 6 figures in 1 year, but they are like the unicorns. We don't see that. We think everybody hit that big mark, but it's just like, no, most of us, it takes years to get to where we really want to go, because we have to learn ourselves. We have to find the path that works for us, find the things that light us up, find the things that we're good at, find the things that we are ready to charge into. And so I think this is like, there's one way to success. I think that's that's not true. And you can't, and another one I don't like is that you have to wake up at 5 a.m. I don't agree on that. I think if you want to wake up at 5 a.m. to have that alone time, great, do it. I wake up at 6, I try to anyways, to find that alone time for myself before my kids wake up. And I don't think that means that you're not going to be successful. You don't wake up at 5 a.m. I think that's a load of horse.
Well, I do think, personally, like there is spiritual, how do I say this? Spiritual times in the day that lend themselves to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I found that the hours of like 3 to 6, whatever watch hour that is open to business. I don't know why. I just found it out. I don't have too much I can give you right now, but I will do the research and we'll get back to y'all.
Okay.
But the thing is this is I also heard one very wealthy man say, if God wanted me to be up at 7 in the morning, he would have created VCRs a long time ago. Because he didn't want to get up until he said, I get up when I feel like it.
And I think there's
I
seasons. I do think there's seasons in life where we, like, if you are a mother to a newborn baby, you're not getting up at 5 a.m. because you're plain out exhausted. And you sleep in, girlfriend. You sleep in. Like, and but if you're like a mother of teenagers and you want to start waking up earlier to get some time in for yourself, like wake up earlier. Like you might have more of that bandwidth to do so. But there are seasons where you can wake up early, and there are seasons where you just need rest and sleep. So I think there's seasons for it, in my opinion.
I agree with that as well. Because like when you're pregnant, you may sleep all day.
You have to. You're making a baby. That's hard work.
No
one thinks so, but it's hard work.
I've never experienced that, so I don't know. So what's one thing that you think you could hang your hat on that mompreneurs or just women in general can do today, even if she's scared, tired, or stuck, to start owning her own voice and start creating income?
I say sell something. I don't care what you sell. It could be something you can sell on Marketplace. You can sell something on Etsy. You can sell a $2 pencil. I don't know. Because if you want to create income, you have to start selling. And what's the best way to sell? You can start small. You can go big. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you're excited and you're willing and you're practicing that confidence that we were talking about. Even, and the thing is, here's the thing. No matter what you're selling, you're always going to feel that fear of rejection, or like, what if nobody buys? Or, you start overthinking things. That's human nature. And we can push past that and just remind ourselves to stop thinking and start doing. So stop thinking and just start doing. And what does that look like? If you are wanted to write a post, write the post and post it. It doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of my posts are grammatically incorrect, and I don't care. Because you know why? I just made $600 in 9 days from a coloring book. So I don't care. Especially from those who think that's BS or whatever. It's just like, no. So that's why it's just like, just do the thing. And so if you want to start making an income, sell something. Even if it's something you own for the last 5 years and you want it out of your house. Because that builds confidence in your selling abilities.
Wow. Well, I would add one thing to that.
Yep.
And this is something we figured out, Monica and I figured out pre-show. Find something that lights you up. Find something that lights you up. So when you start talking about it, it's just joy flooding from you. It won't be selling, it'll be sharing. And when you start doing that, it's infectious. People just want to buy. You don't have to deal with so much of the imposter syndrome and the overcoming objections because you just, hey, you don't want to buy it? Fine, no problem. Because you just have that joy.
Yeah.
So Monica, it's been really fun talking to you. What's the best way people can connect with you online or via email?
It will be in the show notes. And Chris knows my email. Monica at monicawrites.com. Email me. I would love to hear from you. If you are like, oh my gosh, Monica, I want to be in your energy. Like, where are you at online? I am on Facebook, Monica Lynn. That's where I hang out the most. Now, I am on Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. One is Your Content Guide, so at Your Content Guide, and that's where I share more of the speaking and business. And then Monica Your Freedom Guide is another of my Instagram handles, and that is where I talk about adding on another stream of income as a woman business owner. So I'm going to be talking about like some digital products that I've added to my bottom line, and of course a coloring book. So these are just some places to hang out and let's soar together.
Wow, that's awesome. Hey, it's been my pleasure to have you on, Monica.
It's been a pleasure to be here.
For those of you on YouTube or on another platform, please like, share, subscribe. If you're on the podcast, please hit the subscribe or notification bell. However you get your information, join us, and let's go conquer together.